teachings, traditions, and the land. We are mindful that
colonization has not been kind. We respectfully recognize our generational histories and commit to strive for unity in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. Okay, moving to the agenda. The second item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Could I have a motion to Councillor Bates?
I move that the agenda be adopted as corrected.
Seconded, Councillor Tucky. Any addition, comments? Councillor Benwell.
Can I add an in camera on the agenda?
That will, shall we add that as item?
We'll make it item 13 and make adjournment item 14.
Okay. Okay, any other comments, additions? SAO? Oh, that was just your pen in action. Okay.
Can I just ask a quick technical question? I know the screens are black.
Anybody calling in?
Okay, so we're not forgetting anybody before we get too far in.
Okay, seeing no further comments or additions, all in favor of the motion as amended? Okay, pass unanimously. Next item on the agenda, item 3 is delegations. We have no delegations this evening. Moving on to item 4, approval of minutes. We require a motion for the regular meeting of council, October 21st, 2025. Councillor Cox.
I'll move that the minutes of the regular meeting of October 21st, 2025 be adopted as presented.
Second. Mayor Keiser. Any comments? At this point, I would like to ask Deputy Mayor to take the chair for a moment.
Consider it done.
Okay, thank you. I do have a comment regarding the minutes from that particular meeting, and it was actually in relation to comments I made with respect to during the RCMP delegation about the unacceptable condition and situation that we have with the safe room at our health center. I felt I needed to make a comment to make sure that this stays on our agenda as a high priority item, and I find it totally unacceptable that we have 2 different government departments playing football with who is responsible for this mess. I like to use stronger words, but that's not parliamentary. We have to acknowledge that, and the RCMP have confirmed that the current condition of that safe room is leaving us in a situation where we're wasting, or because of the situation, critical and valuable resources of the RCMP are being wasted because they cannot get their S together and get that damn room properly fixed. So I would like to see us, through the mayor, she can either generate a letter or call up the ministers. There are 2 ministers responsible, and demand a resolution to that problem ASAP, and also to provide us with a rationale why it's taken so long, and give us definitive timelines of when that room is going to be available for public, for the health center and the RCMP to be able to use it appropriately.
Councillor Kruger. Any other comments following that? So were you looking to table a motion for a letter from the mayor then, or what was your?
Okay, well, I will put it forward as a motion that the mayor make immediate contact with the ministers responsible. That would be the Minister of Health and Social Services and the Minister of Infrastructure for an immediate resolution to the operational capacity of the safe room at the health center.
A second for that?
I'll second
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion put forward by Councillor Kruger? Motion carried. Would you like the chair back, sir, or is that your only comment?
No, actually I had one other one.
I thought you would.
Yes. This is in regards to a comment brought up by Councillor Heaton, which I think needs a strong response from our community, starting with town council and following through to the other recognized governments in our community. And that was about concerns raised about the release of tailings into the Athabasca River from the Alberta oil sands. And I would like to, totally unacceptable. We have no idea what the long-term impacts of tailings water will have on the environment, the people, and people downstream, which is the Fort Smith primarily, but the rest of the NWT, anybody that's along the Mackenzie Basin. And I would like to suggest that we contact the regulatory authorities in Alberta and ask for a delegation. Have them come up to us and explain why that water needs to be released into the river system and what guarantees are they prepared to make to ensure that the long-term health, not 5 years down the road, 50 years down the road, the long-term impacts of continually releasing tailings into the Mackenzie River Basin system will have on people.
Just a tiny bit of a point of order that wasn't coming out of business rising from the minutes though, was it? That should have been maybe at the end when you had your option to speak.
Well, her comment was.
Sorry, the minutes.
Was it in the minutes? Okay,
Yeah,
so I was
I raised it. That's right.
I apologize.
Yeah. I remember because I thanked her for it last time.
So would you like to make?
So would you like to make a motion, Councillor Kruger? We'll have some discussion around that.
Well, I would like the person who initiated this to take the credit for putting forward a motion.
Councillor Eden.
For us to get some direct communication with Alberta energy regulators and their decisions to make this. I also think that it's important that the whole of the NWT come together to create a very strong voice in opposing this and joining with our brothers and sisters in Fort Chipewyan area that are already making it a public disagreement. It is the Peace Athabasca Delta, that water flows all the way to Great Slave Lake and all the way up to Moonvik as well. So we know that the contaminants that are coming from these tailings ponds are going to affect literally everyone that is on the water systems within the Northwest Territories and any type of traditional land user. So thank you.
So what would you like to make the motion read?
That I would say demand them to come and deal with us up here with the backing of our three nations, and maybe the Tabacha Leadership Council would be a nice place to start with that, because obviously it's going to impact all of us here. But if the town of Fort Smith can be the first one to generate that, then we'd be happy to. Did that answer? I'm not great at making motions.
I think it needs a bit of tightening up, but
Okay.
it's kind of a loosey-goosey motion, but
Yeah, we'll work on it, yeah.
So we can work with that, SCO?
Yes, we can work with
Okay,
that.
I think the point is the mayor will contact leadership committee and our partners, so I think as long as that's encapsulated in that. So do I have a seconder for that loosely goosey motion?
I think he's got something else, yeah.
All good?
Well, second.
You'll second it? Any more discussion around the tailings pond issue around the table? Fine?
Well, now, Fort Chip is on, boiling water. They're shipping in bottled water. And they can't even wash with that water that's coming out of their taps, because of the low levels. And if they release tailings ponds into low level water, that's gonna just be devastating.
Thank you. So all in favor of the motions as tabled? Thank you very much. Motion passed. Councilor Correct, and I hand it back to you at this point.
Sure.
Okay. Chair, back to you, Councilor Correct.
Okay, is there any further, comments regarding the regular meeting of October 21st minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Pass unanimously. Okay, also probably, is there any, item number 5, business arising from the minutes? Okay, seeing, under that item, item 6 is declaration of financial interest. No declarations of financial interest. Moving on to item 7, administration. Item 7A, protective services. Director's report. SAO,
You all have had a chance to read over the report. I'll just ask Director McNabb if he has anything that he wanted to highlight or discuss specifically within his report. Mike, give it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm certainly open to questions. It was pretty straightforward report this month. We were fairly busy, around average for fire and ambulance calls, 31 calls overall, but October is a very busy month for us getting out and doing public outreach with Fire Prevention Week, which was quite successful this year, so I'm really happy with the engagement that we were able to do in schools and daycares as well as the open house. That amounted to 12 training and public outreach events. So across the month we were out 43 times doing 43 different things. So a busy month overall for sure. Our recruitment drive ended just at the tail end of Fire Prevention Week, and it was very successful. This is the first time that we've done a directed recruitment drive with a single intake and a deadline, which I think will really help streamline the onboarding and training process. We had 14 applicants for what ended up being 7 available spots, so very fortunate position to be in, having more applicants than space. I appreciate all 14 people showing interest, and those that weren't selected on this round are certainly in my back pocket. I'm keeping all of the applications and look forward to working with all of them at some point along the way, I'm sure. But we'll be moving forward with orientation week, or an orientation intake this Sunday, and beginning the training process with a new cohort of people, which is really exciting. Beyond that, just in the bylaw piece, there was some correspondence, I believe, to council, but just on that note, certainly bylaw enforcement officers are noting that there's a lot more animal control infractions in the community. There are a lot of loose animals and animals that are not necessarily being treated as we want to see our pets be treated, so that is putting more and more pressure on the animal shelter, and we all know how it is trying to run a volunteer organization. Volunteers are pretty stretched thin, and it's a lot of work to keep a bunch of animals happy, so certainly I think we need to find some solutions and work with the Animal Society around trying to resolve some of those ongoing issues. And we're doing our best in the interim to work with that group. Otherwise, I was at the Fire Chiefs Association conference in Yellowknife with the Deputy Fire Chief. That was a really worthwhile event. I'm really proud of the work that was done by the association to put on this year's conference. A lot of great training, great networking as always. We are in an official partnership with Wounded Warriors Canada, which is talked about a mental health support organization for trauma-exposed professionals. And we received a full-day training event from one of the co-founders of the organization, which was really, really well done. And we'll have him coming into the community in the new year to provide some frontline training to all of our first responders, and then continuing to seek funding as an association to support a peer support network and the peer support training that would go along with it for fire departments across the north so that we can support each other. Because we see and do things that sometimes need a little bit more support than we can provide locally. We also had a great meeting with ECC and the Office of the Fire Marshal around wildland urban interface response in the north. Myself and Travis Wright, the fire chief from Hay River, were sitting on that committee in representing the Fire Chiefs Association, and will continue to do so. We were both re-elected into the director roles and president role for the Fire Chiefs Association, so we'll continue to have those seats in the committee going forward, and look forward to working with our agency partners on that. That's all I got.
Deputy Mayor Kieser.
Just want to, all you got, I think the last 2 points of your report were the ones that interested me a lot, with the fire break maintenance and the entire smart work you guys are planning. So just a statement that I'm glad to see it's still going on, that we aren't forgetting. Having been an FIO myself in Parks Canada for many years, having dealt with forest fires for many years, they don't go away and they come back. So I'm glad to see that it's still on your report. Don't lose sight of it. It'd be my direct recommendation.
Absolutely.
Councillor Heath.
I'm happy to see that the comments on the animal control, because I think at every meeting we've had with the public, it's been brought up. So I'm happy to see that it's in the report, and then also that it's going to be like a priority for our bylaw review. And I think that's going to put a lot of people at ease. We have some like stronger bylaws to deal with, uncontrolled breeding, and just stronger animal control legislation. So thank you.
Anything further on the Protective Services Director's report? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is item B, Corporate Services Director's report.
Exactly. I don't know if I really want to put Jim on the spot since it's only a second day back. So.
Put him on the spot.
So you have the report there. It's not a very comprehensive report. Do you have any specific questions for it?
Other than to thank Jim for having her back again. Thanks, Jim. I don't say that so we tonight. Thanks, Jim.
I just have one question. I won't bother passing the chair. Just in regards to the timelines for the budgeting process, and I'm just, I know I brought this up the last meeting, was the potential of asking for a 30-day extension to submission, just so that we can have a wholesome discussion once the budget is presented to us, rather than rushing through it.
Absolutely, I can reach out. I'll have a talk with our corporate director tomorrow about that, and I can reach out to Metcalf and request it. It's not usually an issue.
Just, I don't know. It's just, I would like the opportunity to be able to really ingest what information the Director of Corporate Services will enlighten us with, and be able to have a good discussion amongst council with regards to our priorities. Thank you.
I guess my only question is all of council in agreement with requesting that 30-day? So maybe actually I wouldn't mind if that was a motion, like Councilor Quebec.
As chair, I don't know if I should be.
Would anybody like to make that a motion, please?
I'll put it forward for you, Mike. And we approach MACA to get a 30-day extension, 30 days for the budget submission, to allow us to have a fruitful and deep discussion. Fix the wording for me.
I'll second. Okay, so moved by Deputy Mayor Kaiser, seconded by Councillor Cox. Any further comments or questions? Councillor Heaton.
Sure, so on the report, it says that we're gonna be trying a community budget survey, and that the survey will be released by November 2nd. I'm just wondering, like, how is the survey being released? Is it like mail or online, emails?
Yes.
Okay.
Our ECDO, EDC, I always messed that one up, and Daniel was working on it, and I think he was trying to get it out. I'm not sure how far he got in getting it out, but I thought he was gonna finish sending it out this week.
Okay.
So I will follow back.
All of the ways?
All of the ways, yeah, no, we're gonna do a mass, we're looking at doing a mail out, having paper variously, as well as having it online. So I know he already had the paper one done up, but he was just working on the online format one. I actually thought it was live because we did a test run of it and we timed how long it would take so he could push it out. So it might already be out there.
Well, like where? Where is it?
I will let all of council know. I'll send you the information tomorrow.
See, Joe, thank you.
Okay, any further comments on the motion on the floor for the extension? Seeing none, all in favor? Passed unanimous. Any further comments regarding the director's report? Seeing none?
Director's report, that's including correspondence, or just?
No, well,
Just the report.
Just report, okay, keep going.
as part of your package, okay. As part of your package, there was the accounts paid list provided and a list of correspondence. Deputy Mayor, did you?
Well, I think it's one of the last things in correspondence is raised earlier, the animal shelter. I see a letter in there from Robin expressing the concerns from the society. It's, I think, listed as for information, not for decision, so, but the letter seems fairly critical, so I guess I was wondering, we'll take it under advisement this month and we'll be trying to deal with this by Christmas, or what's the plan, I guess?
My suggestion to council would be to request that administration provide a briefing note on various options and concerns that we might have on the best way that we could provide support for that one, and what the budgetary implications when other municipalities are doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Ezra.
I'll need a motion for that.
Yes.
You do need a motion, I'll put that motion forward.
Okay.
You got a briefing note, doing all the things that the SEO said it would do.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Kaiser, seconded by Councillor Heaton. Any further discussion regarding a motion for administration to prepare a briefing note on the concerns expressed by the Animals Society. Councillor Cox.
Yes, thank you. I think we'll talk about it more, but I think it just, it's good for people, the volunteers to know that we have their back and that we support them. We got a lot of passionate people and amongst not just the volunteers, but everybody who cares about the animals around town. So I think we got a lot of smart people and passionate people, so hopefully we can get something figured out. I'm looking forward to it. It was one of the animal control bylaw as well was one of the things that was high on my list of priorities when I came in. So it's nice to see that it works and moving. It's pretty exciting.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Any further comments? Deputy Mayor.
I've had a couple of chats with constituents in town about this proposal, this idea, and I think it's something, I wasn't involved on council when we had the daycare discussion and taking care of children in this community, but as important or maybe more than pets, it was an issue that almost split the council. I remember back then from comments I heard. I hope we take this seriously, but we did some great work with the daycare work that preceded us as a previous council in making it happen. I don't know what we'll do with this one, but I just wanted to be clear that, as a government, if you keep reaching out to do things, my fear is that we're taking on things that are we overextending our reach? Are we taking on things that we shouldn't be? And I think that's the discussion I'd like to see us have as we move forward. Is how much is our responsibility to take care of pets that people aren't taking care of? How much is people's responsibility to take care of pets? I think that's going to be a tough discussion, but I think it's one we'll need to have. It's just more of a statement. It's not, I'm not looking for an answer tonight. I think it's something we'll be working through.
Councillor McGee.
When this did come up when I was working for the Portsmouth Métis Council. So PetSmart Charities has an incubator program which they're trying out in Calogero right now. It's a 3-year grant that communities can apply for, and it's a very, you can apply for fairly big bucks, enough to pay for someone full-time, fences, dog food, stuff like straw if that's required. The incubator program is supposed to be for a long-term program, so because of the capacity issues, it just didn't work out for the time, but I did approach PetSmart Charities and did get a positive response from them if we were to reach out, as a community. There is funds to help facilitate specifically this, so just something I looked up and think about. And it's doing well in Calogero.
Councillor Bedwell.
Yeah, I have a dog that, when I'm not home, I tie him outside of the doghouse. And somebody brings straw in the winter, and they put it in his doghouse, so I'm wondering if that has anything to do with this organization. But, when I'm home, he's indoors, but when I'm not home, he's outside, and so he loves the straw that they bring in. It's a good thing. I don't know who brings it, but I just, yeah, thank you for the straw.
Anything further on the accounts paid list or correspondence, which was provided as information? Councillor Cox. Oh, Councillor Benny.
There's an item here that I've seen it before, but I was just wondering. Deseron Inc. for October rent. The town is renting something for $2,310 a month.
Yes,
When we were doing, we had a couple director positions empty, and we were doing recruitment. We actually secured an apartment that was in town, so we had one available when they moved here. We now have our director of community services is in that apartment, and so we back invoice. So we sent her an invoice to cover that now, but we did get it ahead of time to secure it, so we had something, because as we know, there's a big gap here in town in having available accommodations. So we are charging her back for it now that she's in the unit.
Thank you. Any further questions regarding accounts paid or the correspondence? Councillor Thomas.
Just clarification, was there a motion for the animal shelter?
We're gonna, yeah, we did.
There was.
It's a brief note, but
Do we need to vote on that?
Did you not, did we only do the first and second reading? I got a first and second reading on it.
For the animal shelter briefing, all in favor?
Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
I wasn't sure if I missed it.
I got the first and second.
Obviously I did.
Okay.
Last call for items regarding accounts paid list or correspondence. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, item C, which is briefing note, policy and bylaw review project, mid-project update. SAO, I believe.
Does anybody have any questions? I just wanted to sort of explain where we are with the project. I know it's come up a few times, just where are we with the project? The deliverables have been scaled back, and I wanted to explain why, that there was quite a lot of upfront work, a lot more upfront work. It was a mess. There was, I mean, if Councillor Karashuk was here, he came in looking for a policy one day, and we went through the whole system. We're finding little pieces of a policy without things attached. Like, it was quite a mess. So a big part of it was I basically just dumped everything that I could find in all of our systems on them and said, you figure this out. So there was quite a lot of at the front, but we will be getting sort of a sorted database of what we have, which ones still need to be visited, but we did prioritize, and within their proposal, they did put that it would depend on how much upfront work needed to be done and how many were actually done, but that they would focus on a specific service area. So we have focused very strongly around enforcement, the animal control, the land administrative bylaw, things like that, for our enforcement department and for municipal services. So anyways, that's all explained in there. Was there any questions specific to that?
Councillor Cox.
Just a quick comment. Yeah, super exciting. Like I said earlier, the last few times I'm getting ready to ask a question about something, the answer comes in the meeting package. So yeah, this is really exciting. Lots of, I think I just counted 12 bylaws that are under review and in progress. So that's exciting. Thanks for all that work. Recognizing that wouldn't be possible probably at this rate without the HAF funding. It's great. Thank you.
Any further questions? I just have one quick question. What is the timeline for completion of this under this particular project?
What was the question?
What is the timeline for completion under this for this particular project?
I did list it in there. Remaining phase 1 kickoff completed, comprehensive to November. So the comprehensive review and internal bylaw database ongoing to November 2025. Track 1 final targeted by the end of this month to have those brought to the bylaw committee. And then track 2, the remaining bylaw policy is to be completed from late 2025 through early 2026. They have stuck with the original timeline as provided back in April.
Yeah. Okay. Just a comment to council, I suppose, with this particular project, we may want to have some deliberations during our budget process to consider either an extension or continuance of the project to without having our, if we go halfway through it, it's sort of like, what happens to material that isn't properly addressed and updated? So if we're in for an inch, we're in for a mile.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
So, whatever, thank you.
Councillor
So as part of our budget discussions, definitely we need to discuss this
And I'll provide sort of a updated project substantiation then, just with sort of my takeaway from the project to date and where maybe some fine tuning could be done or some other options could be considered. So I'll make sure that I do an updated project substantiation as part of my closeout for that.
Any further questions regarding the mid-project update? Okay, seeing none. Item D, briefing note, Christmas Eve office closure. If I could have somebody, there's
I'll move that all town facilities be closed for the full day on Wednesday, December 24th, 2025.
I'll say that.
Oh, okay. Any briefing note providing background, any comments, anything? Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, it sounds like the Grinch that's gonna end on this one. We're at a unionized shop. We have things that are negotiated on time off. We give time off for a number of community events throughout the year. A full day is a big ask in my books on cost wise, like what it is. You already give a half day historically, right? So this is asking for an extra half day. I hate to be the Grinch and ask the question, is it in a unionized shop, is this the way to do this? Are we creating a precedent that will have us, the next collective bargaining, giving this involved? How does this work? And I'm not sure.
I think there's an acknowledgement that more time with the family as a part of a wellness package is how we're sort of looking at it, is that the council is actually acknowledging that the team has worked really, really hard this year. Whether or not it's a precedent, I'm not sure. That would be sort of up to the further one. I think you can make it very clear in the motion that this one time. But I see it as something that's just acknowledging that this team has struggled. There's been a lot of short staff. A lot of people have stepped up and worn multiple hats throughout the year, provided support to each other during some really lean times. And I just felt like this would be a good time for council to acknowledge that.
Councilor
Just wondering, with that in mind, would there be other dates that might be more beneficial, or is it just because that's backing up on Christmas, or is there, rather than a midweek, giving people a long weekend or something like that?
The majority of people would take that off. If they're going on holidays, would probably take that off. I did not give any other consideration other than why not just the full day.
Yeah, kind of, on Mike's point, that was my first initial thought, but my napkin math is 7.5 hours out of a 37.5 hour in a year, per week in a year, is 0.3%. So it's a lot less than what I thought. So I think given that we're a government town and a lot of people in this town have access to Donny Days, it's a pretty small ask. So I think as long as the union is okay with it, I guess, and there's no conflict there. I guess my other question would be, I'm not here much at Christmas. But I know the rec center and the arena are super busy places almost every other day of the year over the Christmas break, it seems like. So I would just want to double check if that's not going to affect their programming and throw them further potentially.
You'll note in the very last part that should operational requirements necessitate employment on this date, the employee will be given equivalent time off in lieu at a mutually agreed upon time. So for those that are required to work that because there's a hockey, what do you, when there's a whole bunch of people get together and play hockey tournament or something going on, then yes, they would be given equivalent time off at their choice. Okay. Coming from a non-hockey person, getting to know.
Deputy Mayor Keiser, would you take the chair for a moment?
Yes, I will, sir.
Okay, thank you. While we're in this discussion mode regarding the Christmas season and our facilities, I know Christmas time can be a very traumatic time for our vulnerable people within the community, youth being impacted by people suffering from addictions and things like this. And I know, and I find it, I've noticed this on other extended weekends, is our facilities are closed while we have people that are vulnerable out there. And I'd really like to see it, again, as part of our budget process and with with our collective agreement coming due in 2026, is to build in a mechanism where we might be able to have places like the rec center and the arena available for vulnerable people to go to, at least in the evenings, say from 6 p.m. to midnight, as a place of refuge so that they can get away from potential conflicts happening in their homes and things like that. And I know it'll be very demanding upon our staff and things, but I think we, as a society, we're best judged by how we treat our vulnerable people. And as a community, I think we have, or as a community government, a responsibility to try and mitigate where possible. And especially in this time when we have the territorial government and the federal government offloading responsibilities for social programming and social services delivery, somebody has to step up to the plate, and we are the people. We are the government closest to the people.
Point of order here, Mr. Kubrick, is in relation to the motion on the floor about half day off. It's a wonderful speech you're making, but how does that relate to this issue?
Point taken.
The point I think that he's making is that we do have kids who come from troubled homes, and they seek refuge at the rec center. So having that extra half a day is putting them in harm's way, maybe, I'm thinking. That's the point.
Did you round out your point nicely, Councillor Kubrick? Thank you.
Okay.
And the chair back to you, or are you good?
I'm good. Yep, I made my rant. Thank you.
I'll hand the chair back to you, sir.
Okay, Councillor Tucky.
Just a point. I've been in positions where I've had staff work under me and do a great job, but we're never in a situation where we reward that, because people are usually paid pretty damn good money to do that job. And I think this just creates, or has the potential to create a lot of extra work for somebody else who's going to keep track of people who are working versus those who aren't working, and giving time off, and it's just creating work for somebody else to keep track of all this kind of stuff. And basically the bottom line is that we have several organizations throughout this town that only get the half day off, and they have people they should recognize as well. And I think we're going above and beyond, because basically when people do a good job, the town council acknowledges people are doing a good job, and basically I think that's good enough. And unfortunately, in this town, there are people who all that they may have at Christmas, it's just need a place to warm up and socialize, and that's all. That is their Christmas, and we'd be taking that away. And I think that would be very unfair to the less fortunate people in Fort Smith.
Thanks, Councillor Tucky. Okay. Any further comments to the motion on the floor, which is in regards to a full day or Christmas?
I just clarified it for this
Deputy
issue.
Mayor?
We historically give a half day. That's a motion that comes to council and we approve a half day. That's today's agreement. So that's not what's on the floor tonight. It's a full day. We're not looking at a half day fallback off. Or are we?
Absolutely, council can make the
So
amendment
we
to the
could,
motion on the
we
floor.
could round it out and just say, well, not a full day, but a half day is approved as for this year. So I think I hear different points around the table. That's kind of how I'm trying to feel. You know, it's not, I hopefully not being seen as a disrespect. It is, you know, Christmas is Christmas. It's a wonderful time of year. And I would love to give everybody more time off, but is it the right thing to do? And I've heard lots of good reasons why maybe it might not be. So that's my point there.
That's all right.
Operationally, would it be any more difficult to just give everybody the option of a half day that they can use at any time, rather than the whole town getting a half day and on the same day? Or would that be more difficult to administer?
Any thoughts on that? I don't see it.
If the point is that we're trying to give people time off, but then hearing from, other councilors here that the whole town being shut down essentially for a half day is really negatively impacting people who need a space. The equivalent benefit is a half day off whenever they want to use it.
The question on the table is about Christmas Eve, so it's sort of being able to extend their 2 days off into 3 days. That's the question that's on the table, so I don't see it being any more administratively than any other tracking of time off. And just a reminder, it's only the morning now that would be off. Like the evening was already off. Like the after lunchtime on was already. So it's not, we're not shutting down anything that really was. There's no more evenings available because of this. But council absolutely can turn it into a half day if they so desire. It's amended, they'd have to amend the motion on the table, or you call the question now and then do a secondary if you want, or I'll bring the normal briefing note next time. Completely up to council.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Mike had a good point, and Connie mentioned as well. So, is it possible? I guess just not knowing the utilization of the facilities like the rec center during that morning. I mean, if nobody's showing up there anyway, then there's no harm. But certainly we don't want to put people out. Is it possible? And maybe this becomes a second motion, but. Personally, what I think would make sense is potentially just say, have the half day off right now, keep the facilities open, but give staff that extra half day to be used, like exactly as it says, if there's an operational need, if the facility is open, they can defer that half day to a later time, exactly as it says, but rather than just close the facilities until we can look at maybe last year's stats and see, right? Is there any use? Are we putting anybody out by closing that half day?
Do you want to defer the decision to the next council meeting?
Is that too late? Do SDNs till mid-November? Does that make sense?
Councilor Benwell.
When crises are happening, you can't go by stats from last year. I mean, if somebody is having a party all night, say, and those kids need to get out of that house, where they're gonna rent it, the rec center, even if it's for that morning, that can't go by the stats from last year to see that picture. That's all I'm worried about is, because this town is riddled in alcohol and drugs. And I mean, it's like a taboo subject, but it's there. It's like the big elephant in the room, but it's there, and the kids are reaping the havocs of it. And so I'm just worried that if you have everything shut down, where are these kids gonna go, even if it's for that half a day?
Councillor Tuckey.
I'd just like to add on to what I said earlier. Our environment's changed dramatically over the last 2 decades. There was a time when Fort Smith, I'll go ahead and say it. I mean, I work for social services. As far as I'm concerned, social services for our teenagers does not exist anymore. We used to have a treatment center. That treatment center's gone. We used to have an emergency group home. That group home was gone. Any sources of help that was available to teenagers and young children is gone. Fortune Christmas time, people drink. Like you said, Councillor Benwell, our community is riddled with alcohol and drug abuse, and our youth are exposed to that. And who's to say that the day before Christmas, that some teenagers aren't going to need a place to be warm? Have an opportunity to get that warmth and shelter, and also the possibility of talking with their peers about their problems. I think we should be prepared to at least provide that, because we know the government of the NWT is not. And we always talk about our safe community, keeping people safe. That's my last thought on that.
Thank you, Councillor Tuckey. Okay, in front of us we have a motion that was to provide, yes, I can read the motion here, that all town facilities be closed for a full day on Wednesday, September 24th. The motion was moved and seconded. The options in front of us is to accept the motion as presented, amend the motion, or table the motion. Seeing nobody stepping forward, I will call all in favor of the motion as presented.
Sorry, what?
It's defeated.
Okay, the motion that was presented was that the town facilities be closed for a full day on Wednesday, December 24th, 2025.
Okay, but I thought, did you ask that we talk about this in 2 weeks?
That would be a second motion, right?
That'll be the next step.
Oh,
Just
okay.
vote on it.
Okay, so
Or you just let
all-
it be defeated and I'll bring it back next time.
Yeah.
I'll just be bringing one back.
That's all you need?
Yeah, I'm fine with it being defeated. I just didn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, either that or tabled.
No, I'm fine with that. I can bring it, I can bring
Okay,
back
so all in
the.
favor of the motion as presented? All
You
opposed?
You've already called it, nobody put up their hand, so, yeah, okay.
Yeah, all opposed?
Oh, we were done already.
I missed it on the previous ones. Okay, okay, that gets us through administration. The next, item on the agenda is item 8, council business, bylaws and policies. Item 1 on that is briefing note, land administration bylaw number 1065, council direction on 2 items. Somebody, there's a motion there to be. Councillor Cox.
I'll move that council direct administration to adjust the draft to allow calls for proposals for all town lands and to rely on the underutilized land bylaw for the definition of vacant or underutilized land.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Seconded, Councillor Bez. Close. Any comments? Disregards?
May I? I just want to note that there was an error within the briefing note itself. The motion was changed within the backer, but the briefing note originally I'd forgotten that it had gone for second reading while I was away, and so I was bringing it forward, and then I was reminded that it had already gone. So this is only solely, we will bring it forward next week. We have to go out for 2-week public notice now. So once we make these changes, it will be released. You'll see it being released for public notice as required by the Act. And then we will bring it forward at the end of the month for the final third reading.
Thank you, Ms. Aol. Any further comments regarding the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Passed unanimously. Okay, briefing note on corporate seal bylaw number 1070. Ms. Aol?
It's fairly self-explanatory. Mac is doing some housekeeping and asked us for a copy of this bylaw. We were not able to locate it, even in the dusty old files. I think our team might have some health issues from how far back they went digging in the boxes looking for it. We said, Mac is sorry, we don't have it, and they said, well, can you get one then? And so that's what we're doing. We're just catching up for something that should have been done. Were we incorporated? 80? When were we incorporated? Should have been done back then. Yeah.
Somebody else is
Okay. Any questions regarding?
I saw the design in the proposal. It's pretty basic. That's all.
It's a design we've had since the 60s.
It's the seal on it.
That's our seal.
That's our seal.
Okay. Well, I would have liked it to be a bit more artistic, but otherwise, it's what it is. It's what it is. It's pretty blah.
Why can't we?
I don't know.
Sounds like you're volunteering. Sounds like he's volunteering.
Why can't we put this own logo in the middle of it?
I don't know what you're asking. I wasn't looking to make a lot more work, man. I just looked at it, thought, yeah, pretty boring.
That's what it looks like?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a.
Just please.
Okay.
But it's legal and it works, so there's also that.
Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is first reading of the corporate seal bylaw 1070.
Please.
Back to the future.
Councillor Cox.
I'll move that bylaw number 1070, corporate seal bylaw, be given its first reading.
Seconded, Councillor Tuckey. Any further discussion? It's time to get the logo put inside.
Jeremy?
At extra expense and time. This is just housekeeping administrative stuff.
It's not a problem.
I'll make you stickers. I'll give you stickers.
Well, we can make it so it's nice housekeeping.
Okay. Order. So you know, comments regarding first reading. All in favor? It's unanimously. Could I get a second reading of bylaw 1070? Councillor Bates.
I move that bylaw number 1070, the corporate seal bylaw, be given second reading.
Councillor Heaton, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Heaton. All in favor of second reading? Passed unanimously. Okay, next item on our agenda is third reading of zoning bylaw 1063. Deputy Mayor.
I move that bylaw 1063, the zoning bylaw, be given its third and final reading.
Seconded by Councillor Cox. Thank you. Any final comments on Councillor Cox?
Thanks. Yeah, so I should have emailed you guys on it yesterday, but so there's a couple of things in there that are reminders minor wording differences, potentially a mistake. So potentially, it sounds like we might be able to just identify those now and do accept it as amended, or maybe we have to defer it, so maybe that can be part of the conversation, or SAO can guide us on that.
Okay, John.
I'm just in my own notes here, but should I just go through the list and accommodate them, so?
Oh, that was what I was gonna say, is that it's the discussion, please.
So I'll point out the ones that I found. Just the couple of easy ones first. Table 7-3, the ninth row in there just has a typo in there. It says area spaces in one word. It should just be changed to gross floor area to be consistent with the other rows. So I would add that one be lasted. The other important, or just a couple more housekeeping. The word center in there, like in terms of town center, health center. It's almost all spelled with RE. There's 2 instances in there where it's spelled ER. So it's just a housekeeping thing. But the last one and the most important one, which was discussed at our public meeting, and I don't think it got caught in the way the wording is 7.13.2, which talks about the paving of new developments. So I thought the consensus in our last discussion was that requiring paving for new developments for everything was going to be cost prohibitive and inhibit development. So my understanding coming out of it was that we were still going to require it for town center, but try and allow development for industrial for sure, and so on, and institutional and commercial. So the way the wording in there now is, and I don't have it right in front of me.
I do. Do you want me to read it out?
Sure.
So 7.13.2, every off-street parking space provided and its access for institutional and commercial use, as well as all access in the town center zone, shall be hard surfaced if the access is from a street or lane, which is hard surfaced. Where the access street or lane is not hard surfaced, the parking areas must be a gravel mixture in accordance with any applicable town engineer standards.
So as I read that, one throwback from discussion a while back was, it says town engineer standards. I think that was supposed to be town engineering standards. So that one got missed, which makes me think that just the way it got worded just got missed. But how I read that first sentence means that institutional and commercial require paved parking spaces, but town center actually only requires paved access to the parking spaces. And I think it was meant to be the other way around. So I did a little bit of playing around last night with the wordsmithing, and I would propose the following change, or some variation thereof, whichever works. Maybe Margaret might help to help us on that. But what I had come up with last night was every off-street parking space provided and its access for institutional, commercial, and town center zoning should be hard surfaced where feasible, and where the adjacent street or lane is hard surfaced. Should also, so that needs to be fixed. So that it should also be hard. The access should also be hard surfaced. Where paving is not feasible due to site conditions or cost constraints, alternative durable, dust-free surfaces such as engineered gravel mixtures may be permitted, subject to approval by the development officer and in accordance with applicable town engineering standards. So I don't know if I have that first sentence worded exactly right, but basically.
I'll let you finish what you're going to say.
Yeah, so basically what I was trying to get to is to have some form of allowance for variance, and not have, you can say you can get a variance if you're commercial, but a developer coming in might not know that, and that might not trigger them if they're reading this and trying to figure out how much it's going to cost them to come in. So wording it so that saying that there's potential feasible or not feasible, or even just putting some kind of wordsmithing in there saying that there's potential for a variance if we can control the dust and things like that, would help encourage development. But hopefully not. It still gives us a say if we can identify that this is gonna be an issue.
Thank you. At the end of the day, it's up to Mayor and Council how this is worded and the requirements of this bylaw. My concern with this proposal is that if I'm a developer, it's not feasible. I'll just say that. What is there for me, the development officer or our development officer, to come back to them and say, well, of course it's feasible, you pave it. Like, no, it's not feasible. And then that there is cost constraints. Well, anything that costs me money is constrained. So just thresholds, and it's quite subjective. So this basically makes it that nobody's going to pay. Just the way that this is worded right now, without some sort of thresholds. I do like the idea of alternatives, I really do. Durable dust-free surfaces, some sort of gravel mixture, there are other options, I'm not opposed to that. And so I just feel that there would be challenges when you provide these subjective outs from an administrative and enforcement standpoint, that's all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have a standing business in town that does asphalt paving. Somebody who actually does that as a business?
No, correct, absolutely. So, just for context, in our existing bylaw, it's a requirement for all driveways and parking spaces technically to be hard surfaced if they're adjacent to a hard surface road. We've never applied that, so I think it makes sense that we're pulling back from that requirement in residential zones where we would never require it anyways. Having said that, when working with developers around a development, we can certainly give a window of in the next 5 years after development when the paving crews come back in town, because they do come back in town. Like we would never be so restrictive that you can't build that new hospital, you can't pave that parking lot this one.
My point of the question is, we had a small business owner at our last public meeting who said, I increased my driveway, one half is paved, one half is not, and the quote to get that paved was, might as well just not do it. So to me, what I'm hearing that is that if we're putting a bylaw in place, it's not. If we say you have to do it, and you have to do it to this standard, and the standard cannot be easily accomplished by a business in town for a reasonable rate, you are basically saying, as you said, the developer can say it's not feasible. I would say from the other side, as the town, we're saying we don't want to develop. If you don't do it this way, you can't develop. And we heard from the small business owner that would be incredibly difficult for him to do right now. So I'm leaning more towards Councillor Cox's, as you said, somewhat loosey-goosey interpretive, it's a bit subjective, I think was the term used. Because what we want to see as a town is development. Not out of control development, but development.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. I agree with you. So I guess my point is, again, just guiding what will happen for us as administering it. If that's the sentiment, and I think it is, and there's good rationale behind it, it might as well just not be a requirement then.
Maybe the bathwater solution.
Thanks. I think. I don't think it should be thrown away. I don't know if it's wordsmithed exactly the right way it is. I'm conflicted because I know there's an impetus to get this through and done. But I don't know. Do you have any suggestions potentially for different wording that might still, like you say, give us putting in a timeline or a stronger wording for approvals by the development officer, or is it something that we do need to send back and get rewordsmiths if it's something that we can't get through today?
So when I say that it might as well not be a requirement, I'm not saying it's not an option. Any development can elect to pave their parking lot. That's certainly an option. If the concern is around being a development-friendly community when it comes to small businesses, perhaps just not including commercial at all. in this, and sticking to institutional and town center would be another option.
Just one more small point, this can always be appealed too, right? Like if it was a requirement, they could always request an appeal.
A variance.
Sorry.
Is Councilor Cobb? Easier. It's just, I keep going back to what I heard at our public meetings from business owners saying, what message are we sending? Are we sending the message that we're open for business, or are we sending the message that, we're gonna put all these rules, you can appeal this, you can appeal that, you can challenge this, but this is the rules. I don't wanna, like I say, I don't wanna go so far the other way as the Wild West, but I also don't wanna go the way that we say, we put all these things that you can appeal 10 of them and maybe you'll get those by. That's again, not encouraging development to me. That's what I'm saying, on our terms, we might let you build. That's not encouraging, so I'm torn, and I really am torn. I heard what the small business guys were saying, I hear what you're saying to administer. I can't imagine doing something so loose that it's all up in the air. I think Carl's made some, Councilor Cox has made some good points there. It does need wordsmithing, but it's a good start. I don't see throwing it out, as your first comment with Adam. I don't see putting out the baby with the bathwater here. It is something I was sitting here thinking when I read it again last night, going through all the stuff going, is there some way we could allow an engineered gravel surface and then give them some sort of rebate if they paved, sort of a reward for paving for a year or two, like it just help out. That's me supporting development. Then it's like, okay, you got a running facility, you got a business that's got a gravel parking lot, you choose as a business order to pave it, we will give you 5% off of your taxes. I don't know, I'm just shooting in a hole. Something that encourages them to develop as opposed to saying, don't develop. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Councilor Yu?
Sure. I think maybe some of these questions can be directly answered by the community. We had another community engagement session, which I think with the mayor's recent word on the street meeting was people have an appetite for another public hearing specifically about this zoning bylaw. So I'm just wondering if that's going to be happening. An additional public hearing for a final input.
There was no direction to do that. The last meeting, that the second reading was, we're gonna have 1 month in between readings to give lots of time for comments and any further input, and it was shared out and it was put out there, and there was no responded on that one. Just bringing it back around to this discussion, the discussion about removing the commercial use and having it institutional and down in town center. Would that address the issue that you brought up?
Thanks. Yeah, I think that was certainly intriguing. I think there are cases in town where there's commercial businesses that did pave on their own accord once the paving company was in town and the price became reasonable. You can't expect a commercial organization to mobilize paving. And I had another thought. Oh, I guess the question on that to the director. In terms of another means of enforcement, I mean the real issue with not paving is going to be dust control, as I understand it. So it will there. I know that the public safety bylaw, I think is what it's going to be called, or whatever the new version thereof. Property standards. So is there an avenue in there to put in an enforcement issue on dust control, where that could cover off the concern of commercial properties if they don't have pavement? If that's the case, then maybe we can just have take out the commercial and have institutional and town center and do it. Actually, what everybody else wants to.
So if that's the suggested change, we definitely reword that so it included that. So the final would be for institutional and town center zone, and then remove all the part about the and commercial use as well as all that part. Remove that. Is that the only change besides the typos? The center versus center?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So I guess the question is then, is council good to give third reading with those changes as we've just said? Or did you want me to make those changes and bring it back for the last meeting of November?
We're all looking at you, Carl.
I'm not, it's fair, yeah.
Well, the motion would have to be amended to signify that the changes are to be incorporated in as part of the third and final reading.
Yes.
That wording is enough for you to
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we can clean that up.
Are you amenable to as a mover of the motion? I forget who said.
It was Deputy Mayor Keiser and Councillor Cox who made the motion and seconded.
So you're both okay with for the motion to include bylaw 1063 zoning bylaw be given third and final reading as amended. Okay. Any further comments? Councillor Heaton.
So, I know that it had been discussed at the October 7th regular meeting of the council, which was protected as corporate services. But with the word on the street that the mayor held, which was on October 20th, and this was the direct feedback from the community regarding specifically this zoning bylaw. I think what the community wants is more say, more time, more consultation. So, what are we gonna do about that?
Sorry.
Yes,
Again, though it was put out there, it has been brought out there, it has been sent out to all of our partners, and that last month has been given, we haven't had any direct comments come in. We have more than fulfilled our requirements on this as round for consultation and having 2 public meetings as well as the amount of sharing we've done with it. So I guess that's council's decision, but like I said, I'm only going by the actual motions and directions, and I did have this conversation with the mayor and I did put that out in an email to her that the last direction we had was to bring it forth again, to have 1 month in between for any further comments to come in. And to be honest, the only comment that came in was from Councillor Cox about this. Well, he did bring forth something around the changing in the zoning for that urban lot, but we've answered that and explained what the discussion was for that one. So we haven't had any official comments or any feedback come in.
From official partners?
From anybody.
Okay. Including community members?
Including community members.
One more comment, and my understanding, as I have it, is because this bylaw is not need approval by a minister, the process to amend this is relatively simple if it need be.
It's as, yeah, thank you, Councillor Cox. It is as normal for any bylaw. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, final call for comments on bylaw 1060, third reading of bylaw 1063 zoning bylaw as amended. Seeing no final comments, all in favor of third reading? Opposed? 1 opposed. 5 in favor, 1 opposed. Okay, next part of our agenda is mayor and council, board representative. And first on the list is, and to my immediate left would be Councillor Benwell.
Thank you. I just want to say that thank you to all the community members who made it a safe Halloween for the kids. I brought my grandson out to the Queen Elizabeth Park, and he ran up and down those places and look. And so by the time I took him to a couple of houses, he was so played out, he was ready to go home. So So thank you for all, and driving slowly in the town. I saw a lot of kids out, and vehicles that were riding around were driving nice and slow. That was good. And something else I was gonna say too. Salt Rivers Halloween display was awesome. Kudos to whoever put that together. That was really good. My grandson really loved it. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you. This is gonna be a long one because last meeting's video got cut off, so I just want to like put it out there. So I did attend a graduation at the Empowering and Building Better Futures program from Uncle Dave's Friendship Center in partnership with Workforce Canada. So I do want to congratulate Ms. Brenda Shawaki for holding a very important program and graduating like 12 teenagers. So I got like life skills and like first aid and wilderness first aid, traditional skills like hide skinning and stuff like that. Okay, I was also at the JBT canteen for Lori Hobart, so definitely a shout out to Miss Quinn Heron, who just recently had a birthday, for helping run the canteen with me. We already talked about Tammy's plans. And the Jays unfortunately had a rough game, so. I did just finish a month volunteering at the animal shelter, so I can like corroborate everything that Ms. Robin Brown is saying, right? Like there's a lot of animals there. It is 100% volunteer based, and they're just looking for extra help. So anyone that's got time, especially over the holidays with people taking off, right? It's no holidays for the critters that are in there. So if you're sticking around town and need to make some calm hours, or just want to take some dogs for a walk or give them a good cuddle, like they're always looking for extra people. Also the food bank is gearing up for another holiday season, so things are rough out there for a lot of families. So if you got any extra bucks or food donations, please don't hesitate to send some dollars their way. I think you can make checks out to the Episcopal Society, but I might want to double check on that. And if you are doing food donations, as best as you can, make sure it's not expired, because it's very difficult to give that food away. Okay. And then I just want to say to all the members of Tabacha Fort Smith who have served in our Canadian Armed Forces, Masi Cho, Kinescope Newton, merci and thank you for your service, and I hope that the community comes out for the Remembrance Day celebration that's going to be happening at Salt River First Nations Conference Center next week at 10:30 a.m. Masi Cho.
Thank you. Thank you. Words right out of my mouth with the Remembrance Day services, so looking forward to seeing everybody out there. And looking back over the last 2 weeks, I just wanted to give kudos to town staff, as well as just all the volunteers who were involved in the Lori Hobart tournament. It was really amazing to see just the spirit and the environment that was provided for some safe sport. We talked about the importance today, for having a place for youth to go, and I think sport is one of the things that can really help with that. So it was nice to see the town coming together to provide such a fantastic event. And then Halloween, saw Sparky out and about doing, bringing some kids for trick or treating. So just wanted to give kudos to the volunteers involved in that, as well as just the EMS and fire in general. I know it's been kind of a tough time. Some pretty just hard calls over the last little while. So just really wanting to recognize the volunteers who make those choices to be out there caring for our community day in, day out, usually at those late hours or early hours in the morning. So thanks for keeping us safe.
Okay, I was just making notes here, haven't really done a briefing on my trip to Ottawa. Mr. Keiser goes to Ottawa, which should be a movie, but, we went, I'm with the Associates Communities, I'm just trying to note some of the different ministers or deputy ministers we spoke to, so I'll just walk through some of them quickly to give you a sense, so the community understand. We met with Deputy Minister in Infrastructure and Housing, and we talked a lot about the housing programs that are going on. We had quite an interesting discussion around new versus updated housing because of the way they're counting everything and the programs they're doing. And they're, of course, all the media never gets new housing. And it was a bit of a surprise to me that we had empty housing in our community, some of our communities, Fort Smith being one, government housing. And some of the reasons for it being empty, they were burned or they were black mold or there was asbestos. He took some notes and he said, I'm going to look into that. So I don't know if that translates with the budget as well, and everything else is slowly on a lower, but he was quite intrigued by that and the fact that, and another couple of communities with us spoke up about having housing in their communities. So we brought the North to that table about housing. We went with environment, we talked about water, we talked about the tailings dumping at the environment meeting. We also talked about the levels in the slave, and I talked a bit about at council a while back. We had the retrofitting done on our water intake, and I talked about some of the discoveries that you guys, the engineers, had told us about there, and the fact that we had the water levels below a table that's not going to see water because it's so low now. Again, they knew things were happening, but to hear it from somebody directly who lives in the community, they were taking notes. So hopefully we got their ear there. We met with DMV, the military, and all I really could thank them for was their support of the Rangers. On our way to Ottawa, we flew with a bunch of Rangers from the North going to training, and there were a bunch of Fort Smithers there, so they went out to the training. So I made a point of thanking the minister for the support to the Rangers in the North. Who else here? I'm just looking quickly. We met with Aboriginal Affairs Deputy Minister, and I talked about the Bachelor Leadership Committee and the great work it's been doing, the fact that it's in a funding wind down phase and looking for support. Notes were taken there. They said they would see again, they'd be aware, they didn't know that was an issue, so nice that they were going to talk to our people in the community, so I think hopefully some good will come out of that. And I've got a number of things around the budget that was released today. I want to go home and watch the news to see what was announced. But we heard very clear messages. It's an investment-based budget, long-term projects. This was not a time to be going in for specific projects for a landfill or a road upgrade. That's not the budget we're looking at right now. These would be big. I heard the term often, nation-building projects. And listening to what we were hearing there, I have to say I had some sympathy to some of the points they were making. So, so the one thing we did hear very clearly is cuts will be real right across Canada, but the North is a priority. We heard that in a number of different meetings. The North is a priority to this Prime Minister, to this government, but we will still face cuts in some areas. But we also see more investments in some areas, as we've heard things like the radar, military road. There's projects being discussed now, like the Highway North and other things. So it's going to be a bit of a give and take. So really, it was an intense week. 5 days, 6, 7 meetings a day, it seemed. Each of them felt like a job interview. By the end of the meeting, you were exhausted, and then you jumped in a cab and ran to the next meeting, did another job interview. It was a long week, but I hope that's just a summary of what happened at them. They were very welcoming, very pleased that the North had been there. And so I hope, hearing that from you, they let you know that we had a good presence in Ottawa for a week. I'll let you know what happens as we move forward. That's probably the main thing I've been involved in the last little while, and why I haven't been around town very much. Len.
Well, I guess basically everyone's touched on the Safe Halloween and the Laurie Hobart tournament, and I can't really add much to it. Thank you.
Thanks. So yeah, not much for me either, other than with the time change, it's getting dark out now, so careful driving. We're in that, seems to be the month or 2 months these days of freezing rain and slippery roads, so just ask people to slow down and be cautious, clear their windshields going through the school zones, and watch for the dark crosswalks are all lit, but just people all seem to wear super dark clothing, so keep an eye out for them. That being said, the days are still sunny. A couple of volunteers cleared the entire allotment trail already. I think it was mowed from one end to the other, which is probably the first time that's been done. So the trail is ready to go, and people can get out and hike it until the skis are able to work a little better. So that's out there. Thanks.
Thank you. I had no committee meetings, so other than congratulations to all the athletes that participated in the Laurie Hobart volleyball tournament. It's a great economic driver for our community. It's amazing how much money those kids come and drop in our community. They're always welcome. That's about all. Thank you. Okay. Anything from the administration? Okay, no. Okay. Date of the next council meetings, regular meeting of council, community and municipal, November 18th at 7 p.m. Regular meeting of council, protective and corporate, December 2nd, 7 p.m. Can I get a motion for the excusing of councilors? Councilor Cox.
I'll move that Councillor Karachuk and Mayor Ferguson be excused from the regular meeting of council on November 4th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have nobody here for question period.
All in favor, please?
Sorry?
All in favor?
Oh, sorry, all in favor? Sorry. Trying to move things along. Okay, again, nobody here for question period. Item 13 was a call for in-camera session. Can I get a motion for us to go in camera? Councilor Benda.
Act 832.
Do we need
Second, please?
seconder? Councilor Cox, I saw your hand go up first.
I was just gonna add to, we need to clarify for what.
We usually do, because this was an add-on, I doubt very much you have the language available. It's usually for labor, land, law, or legal. So those are sort of the four. Did you want to state, or we can just add it into the minutes after why we went in camera? Once we have a discussion.
I don't know.
We'll discuss and we'll discuss that.
Okay, all in favor of going in camera?